all in all, it was not a good look for the Saints after those first two losses of the season. I just want to first start with the Chiefs. When they say next man up, when they're dealing with injuries, it works like every time for Kansas City. They just can't go wrong no matter who they put in.
Yeah, and to me, I think that's a testament to their staff, Andy Reid. And what I find happens with this next man up is that some coaches will say, hey, next man up, you're going to fit into my offensive scheme. Where what Andy Reid does is he takes the next man up and utilizes their ability. So Worthy needs a bigger role. What did we do? We got him on the perimeter. He's the fastest guy in the NFL. Get him on the perimeter. And you think of Juju. This was early in the game. We're just going to spot him up. He's huge for wide receiver. We're almost using him as a tight end there. Go get 8 yards. And then Juju again, underneath. Let's let this big body go, get some tough yards late. Again, you're putting these guys in situations that they will succeed in. You're not making them fit what you're trying to do, if that makes sense. And Kareem Hunt, hey, we know this guy. We drafted him a few years back. Let's see if he's lost a step. Clearly he hasn't. He looked great tonight. We know exactly how to use him. So why I think it works so well for them based on other teams is because their coaching staff adjusts their offense, and you got a quarterback who can execute it.
Yep.
Based on the personnel they have healthy.
Let's hear from Patrick Mahomes. He's standing by with Lisa Salters.
Patrick, over 460 yards of offense. Just how did this one feel to you?
Yeah, it felt good. I mean, obviously we were able to move the football, and that's a really good defense. We got to keep working on that red zone to get some of those, make them touchdowns. But I felt like we played a good team football game today and got the win.
Everyone wanted to know who was going to fill the void with Rashee Rice being out. Just what did you think of the way Juju stepped up to answer that question?
Yeah, he stepped up. I mean, that's the perfect way to say it. I mean, he's done it before with us. He knows how to go out there and get open. And today was his day. It's going to be by committee. It's going to be a lot of different guys from that role. But I'm glad Juju showed that he still got it, and I'm glad he's on our football team.
You've said that the offense gets all the attention, but you want your defense to get more credit. Just what impressed you about the way your D played tonight, just holding them to 13 points?
Yeah, I mean, that's an explosive offense, and our defense, really other than one play, did a great job of really holding them down. And so they've been great for 2 years now. People are going to recognize at some point, but we'll keep winning until they do.
5-0 heading into your bye. You get to take a breath. Just what do you need to work on?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the footwork, back to the fundamentals, but there's no break. You got to stay on top of it, and plus my Royals are going to be at the K out here, so I'll be in Kansas City. I'll be at the game.
All right, good luck to you and your Royals.
Yeah, thank you.
Congrats.
Always great seeing you.
What a guy. What a gentleman.
Yeah. Polished interview.
Very polished. Such a pro. Such a pro. They're 5-0. There was a lot of talk, as you know, at the beginning of the season about whether Travis Kelce had lost a step.
Yeah.
Well, look at him now.
Exactly.
He looked terrific on Monday, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and he is terrific. I mean, I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be the best pass-catching tight end in the history of the game. But beyond that, what I love about what he's doing now, he just looks like he's having a blast out there, and he's doing crazy stuff and executing it. I mean, we talked about this earlier. This is 3rd and 22. We're on the run. We switch hands. We fire an underhand pass or lateral, rugby style, get it to 4th and 1 here. I mean, there's only a few guys who aren't going to get absolutely reamed out by their coach after this.
I was just going to ask you that. Like, at the end of the day, I get it worked, but does Andy Reid question that in any way?
For him, no. If I did this with Pete Carroll, absolutely. And then even here, Jay, I mean, he's running a zone read on the goal line and runs it to perfection. You see him there, he's holding it. It's just so cool how they use him. And beyond that, and they showed it on the broadcast today, what I love about how he's playing, he had the catches. We've seen him make these catches a bunch of times. I think he had 9 catches, 10 targets. Unbelievable job. He's also out here blocking.
Yeah.
Like, what I love about him is that, to me, he's not a diva. He might be in all the commercials. He might be dating Taylor Swift. But he's still out there fighting for his guys, fighting for this team. He's blocking. He's running read options. He's throwing laterals. He's catching the football. He's ripping.
At the end of the day, I think he knows if he stops playing that way, part of the appeal of Travis Kelce goes away, right? That's why people love those guys.
Yes.
They were great players, right?
And you just said it. Like, he is a football player's guy. You love to see it. And even when he doesn't have the ball, he's working for his boys.
Now, they're 5-0, the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't believe I'm asking you this question, but can they go undefeated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely can. I mean, we have been sitting here talking about the offense and Patrick Mahomes. what we haven't even brought up yet is the defense.
Yeah, and Chris Jones talked about it pregame. He wants a little more love for his defense.
And they absolutely ball out. This was supposed to be a great offense, which I'm sure we'll get to in the Saints. But this defense is elite from top to bottom. They have a very, very good coach in Steve Spagnuolo. Chris Jones is, just a wrecking ball. He's doing everything. He's moving around on that D-line. And you look at McDuffie on the back end. I thought he was gloving up Olave a lot tonight. He made a ton of plays. And again, they execute it. They believe in Spags. I saw the argument there. I understand that. That happens. But you asked me they can go 17-0. Yes. Is it likely? Yeah, probably not. Will they mess up? Probably. Could happen. But I will say this. If they lose a game, it will most likely be because of themselves getting in their own way than someone coming in just flat out beating this team. They're too complete.
And then on the other side, it's the Saints, a really disappointing performance. And it's really interesting because they had the 2 wins to start the season.
Yeah.
And now, they've suffered a couple of losses since then. And when we started the season, Dennis Allen was the most likely coach to get fired. That's what everyone said.
Yes.
Was this just smoke and mirrors, those first 2 games?
Bingo. Smoke and mirrors. You look at the 2 defenses they played those first 2 games. They're able to run the football like crazy. They're weak defenses, and they lit up the scoreboard. However, since then, it's been real tough. And let's talk about the start of this game. This is the first quarter. You had a drive going. Derek Carr makes his throw. It's unbelievably bad. And part of this is the protection. They're sliding left, but our right tackle doesn't get the call. He bounces out, and Kamara has to absolutely sacrifice his body. Later on, we have a missed throw, and this is still, you got 5 minutes and 45 seconds in the first quarter, and you got to make that. Now, watch this bubble here. It's 3rd and 7. I know you say, oh, Luke, what's the big deal? The big deal is that's a timing throw. We're trying to hit this guy in the run so he can catch and run. Again, first quarter still here. It's 3rd and 13. I get it. You can't throw into triple coverage, Jay. And it's not it was Shaheed. He's not a 6'5" receiver you're open throw a jump ball to. My point is, with all of those plays in the first quarter, and this is, we talk about great teams, championship teams. So, and we've talked about this, offensive coordinators will script their openers or their first 15 for base plays. So all of those plays, minus the 3rd down, are stuff that you would go over the night before. Sunday night, you're in the hotel, you're talking to your offensive coordinator, hey, here's what we're thinking. And you come out here and you miss a throw because you're too jacked up. You can't get a protection right. Steve Spagnuolo is bringing heat. He does it every week. You've talked about it all week. You messed that up in the first, 2-3 plays of the game. You can't get a bunch formation progression at receiver right. That's not a good offense. And as much as the Chiefs played great on defense, which they did, I'm not trying to take anything away from them, to start the game in Arrowhead on a Monday night, self-inflicted wounds like that, you can't expect to win the game.
Hey, Devontae Adams, you sure? You sure you want to go to the Saints? Hey, guess what we have coming up in week 6?
I know.
Oh, boy, look who's coming up. Here we go. What are you expecting? You've got a wounded Niners team.
I know.
You've got a wounded Seahawks team. Desperate NFC West action.
I'm nervous. I'm very nervous, and the Niners obviously blew it this last week, but the Seahawks defense is in shambles right now. Jared Goff threw a perfect game against us. Daniel Jones last week looked like John Elway. It's not good. It's not good.
You're in trouble. FanDuel has San Francisco as a 3.5-point road favorite. Pre-game coverage begins at 7 Eastern. Luke and I will follow the game, which I cannot wait.
I can wait. I can definitely wait.
Everyone looks forward to you talking about the Seahawks.
I'm nervous.
This is so fun. So that'll be Thursday.